I have not been impressed with Razer's Seiren microphones released over the last couple of years, especially the Seiren Emotes edition, the worst sounding USB microphone I have listened to within its price range, which is honestly pretty sad. However, it seems like Razer is beginning to realize what certain categories of their products are actually worth. Mind you, this introduction comes off very hateful, but I'm actually a bit of a big Razer fan. I love my Razer Raiju, my Nari Ultimate headset, my Black Widow keyboard, my RGB trackpad from theirs whose name I ended up forgetting over time, and my original Seiren to begin with. But can I learn to love the most adorable looking microphone in the market, or like the majority of their audio gear, is it at all just looks? Introducing the Razer Seiren Mini, let us go ahead and dive right in with this review. Before we continue, I just want to remind you that we have a Twitch channel where we stream every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. and to 10 p.m. Eastern time, so why not go ahead and drop a follow? And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and also make sure to check out the merch store. There's plenty of black and white sweetness to choose from up there, so go ahead and check that out. And then make sure to take a look at the podcast as well, as the podcast always goes live every Wednesday and Sunday. And with that said, enough rambling, let us get straight into the video. Now here's a pretty quick disclaimer. I will be recording the entirety of this review with the Razer Seiren Mini. If you're interested in hearing what this microphone sounds like on the live stream, then why not stop by my Twitch stream tonight? And it's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll be testing out this microphone live to see if it's any good for streaming. And with that said, let us go ahead and dive right in with the actual review. And let's go ahead and begin with an unboxing. And now this is a pretty affordable microphone going for around 50 bucks, which is a rarity for Razer. However, the packaging is still pretty nice, or as nice as it can be for 50 bucks. You just go ahead and cut through the lid, and then inside you're going to find a bunch of packaging, and everything is going to be separated into different portions. You're going to find the stand, the extension to the stand, the microphone itself, and the micro USB cable for power, and we're going to get into that soon. An exterior design is going to consist of plastic, understandably so. It is a cheap product for sure, and it definitely feels that way. But I don't want to give them too much leeway regardless, because I've gotten my hands on $50 microphones that can afford to be built of metal instead of just plastic while still sounding pretty good. So the Razer Seiren Mini can't really get away with that too well. But moving on, and this microphone is really tiny and really lightweight, but I do really love the look of it overall. It's honestly a cute little microphone for sure, with a micro USB port instead of USB-C, and no headphone entry for monitoring either. So yeah, with this microphone there are definitely going to be a lot of compromises being made here. And remember that you can mount this pretty much anywhere, through any mic arm, as long as it's got the proper adapters on it. And the stand itself probably isn't tall enough to get the best audio possible out of it. I mean, it's sitting on my desk at its tallest with the built-in settings, and this is what it sounds like overall. However, it is highly adaptable, which is something that I really like. Now, this is just going to be the moment that I'm going to dedicate for an audio test. And this whole time, you've been listening to what this microphone sounds like, completely unfiltered. No EQ, no changes to the audio, besides maybe a gain boost in post. But this is what it sounds like overall. There's some sound foam across the walls here and behind me, as you can see obviously, and it's going to be across the ceiling right above me and across the other side of the room. However, it doesn't cover the entirety of the room. It only covers maybe almost half of it, I would say. And I was honestly surprised to hear that it sounds pretty good, even though I wouldn't be surprised if from this distance you can hear a little bit of echo, though I think that this microphone is designed in mind to work well from this distance. And hopefully you do like what this microphone sounds like, but from what I've heard back, it actually does sound pretty damn good. I really like how it sounds for the money that is, and I think that there's a decent amount of low end, though I can definitely hear some compression built in by default, and it's not at all the tinny mess that I was expecting it to be, and considering that I did test out the Razer Seiren Emotes, and I thought that it sounded absolutely awful. You can see my review of it somewhere around here. But with that said, the plosives actually become a lot harder to bear when you put this microphone a lot closer to you, and it doesn't sound quite as good when you put this microphone closer to your mouth. I think that it is better served from a little bit of a distance, and I think that that's just the intention behind it. Like, just considering how small it is, how small the stand is, I think that it is just built around that idea of being used from a bit of a distance. So as for complaints, I actually only have a couple. The build quality, for instance, I'm definitely not a fan of. I really wish that it was metal, and I think that they could have made that fit into the budget just fine, even if it came at the cost of the packaging. And I do wish that there was a headphone jack for monitoring, but I can sacrifice that for the money. I do understand that to an extent. However, what I'm mostly puzzled about is mostly that this just has a micro USB port instead of USB-C. It's 2020, and I don't think that the price tag justifies the strange exclusion here at all. I mean, again, like Razer has implemented USB-C onto so many of their products, I don't understand why in 2020 they can still justify using micro USB. And in all fairness, that's all I can really complain about, and I'm probably still nitpicking when I mention these things. This microphone does look really cute, but most importantly, it actually sounds pretty good, and it's much better tuned than the more expensive emote mic that I reviewed before. And it handles plosives way better, in my opinion, and it's EQ'd much more adequately already. And with that said, for 50 bucks, I'm honestly really happy recommending this microphone. Not to mention that it rejects sound pretty well, actually. In spite of it being a condenser microphone, it is still a cardioid microphone, so it is still mostly meant to pick up sound that is coming directly from the capsule or directly in front of it. At the very least, those are the benefits of having that kind of bowler pattern on here. So for 50 bucks, if this is your budget, I can strongly recommend this microphone. Otherwise, there are going to be better options for sure, but for 50 bucks, this is a really good option, and I'm genuinely surprised. But if you want a microphone that'll last you a couple of years, be really careful with this one, because I don't trust the build of this microphone. I do think that it is that plasticky, so do keep that into consideration. And with that said, if you're interested in purchasing this microphone, then I'll be making sure to leave affiliate links down to Amazon in the description, so if you end up using any of my links to make a purchase, I do get a small commission that does help me run things just a little bit more smoothly around here. So if you were to use those, I would appreciate that quite a bit. And also, do make sure to stop by my Twitch channel, and I'm going to be streaming with this microphone tonight, so if you're interested in seeing what it sounds like in a live stream, do make sure to stop by. Links to that are going to be below, as well as a link to my Instagram and my Twitter. And not to mention that we did start a podcast pretty recently, and if you're interested in some tech news and some opinions with some hot takes, of course, because you need those on the podcast, then links to that or to any of our previous episodes are going to be down below, though we do feature every episode on this channel already. But with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy.